watch this again, I'll have it uploaded to our YouTube. Um, okay, so first of all, I just want to give a really quick introduction. So my name's Jen. I've been at Common Curriculum for about a year and a half now, but prior to that, I taught high school social studies and special education for 7 years. But here at CC, one of my main goals is just to help teachers be successful in using CC, and help them make making lessons better and faster and easier than ever. So when I was making kind of the overview for this, I just wanted people's questions. So what did they want me to talk about? What did they want to know? And I got about 20 questions from people that registered for the Q&A, and it was kind of a wide range. So I had several that said, hey, I'm just starting my plan book. I don't know what I'm doing, so I want to know everything. And then others were really specific, like I want to know how to do this really specific thing. I've been using CC for years and I just want a refresher about this certain thing, or just asking questions about features. So I'm going to try to incorporate all of those things. There was some people that had the same question. So I'm not going to go through the questions like this question, this question, this question. I'm going to go through things in your plan book, how to use the features, how to set it up, that incorporates all of the questions that were asked. So if there's anything that you have questions about that I don't cover, which hopefully I cover everything that I was asked, but if I don't, then I'm posting this on our YouTube channel. If you want to get notifications for videos that I post on there, there's lots of videos on there already that help you use your plan book. Just subscribe to our channel, it's Common Curriculum. And then we also have a lot of help articles and like our support. And then you can also message us at support@commoncurriculum.com. And it's a real person, so it might be me getting back to you or another person getting back to you. Okay, so right to get started. Oh, I just want to mention about the chat. If you do have questions as I'm going through things, throw it into the chat. Um, I'm probably not going to answer anything until the end, because I am going to try to answer everything that people asked me about when they registered. So maybe you have a question now. I might get to it towards the end. But anyways, just throw it in there and then I'll take a look at that. And I think there's still only 3 of us, so if you have a question, feel free to speak up too and be like, hey, I don't understand what you said. Can you say that again? So it's a really small group here, so feel free to do that too if you want to. Okay, so first thing is, can you guys, are you guys new users or have you been using it for a while? Just throw that in the chat. How long have you been using CC? 3+ years. Okay, awesome. Second year. Okay. And then since there's only 2 of you guys, can you throw in your exact question that you had for me so I make sure that I definitely answer that one in detail? Okay. Okay, so even if you guys are veteran users, you've used it for 2 to 3 years. So, oh, you're the one with the AI question. Okay. Um, I'm going to go over how to set up your plan book. We've done some like updates this past year, actually quite a few like little updates here and there. So there might be something new that I tell you about, or might just come in handy when maybe you're creating your plan book for next year. Okay, so how to create your plan book. What you do is you click the Create Plan Book button, you choose these, whatever you need for your class, create your plan book. And then here's where you're going to add your classes. Are you guys seeing my screen? No, okay. It would help if I clicked the share button. All right, how about now? Okay, awesome. Okay, so I just hit that Create Plan Book button on the home page. And so here I am. It's a brand new plan book here. And here's where you add your classes. So I clicked Add. And this year we've added in these 2 different options. So before you could just add your classes But now we have these two things. So you can choose to add something that you write lesson plans for. So that's most likely going to be your classes. So something that you want to have a lesson plan template for. And then we also have the option to add, I don't write lesson plans for this. So this is anything you want to put into your schedule that's not a class, because you really want to try to put as much as you can of your daily schedule and weekly schedule into CC, so you don't have to be going other places, like a paper planner or Google or whatever. Like we want you to kind of use this as for everything, and we're working towards that too. But if you want to add a class, so you click add, you give your class a name, and then choose whatever color you want. And we also added the ability to enter times. So you can click yes, you want to enter times if it's the same time every day or if it's not the same time every day. I'm just going to choose the same time every day. So let's say my period 1 starts at 8 and it ends at, maybe it's 8:50. Throw that in there, hit done, hit done. And so there's my class. And then I add in another class if I want to, or add in something I don't write lesson plans for. So maybe after that first class, I have a team meeting with maybe my grade level team or something. Throw that in there, choose my color. Yeah, I'll pick a time. This time I'll do it for not the same time every day. So I'll turn these on. Maybe I don't have team meeting on Friday, so I'm just going to leave that off. Monday, what time was my period 1 till 8:50? So we'll say this is like 8:55 to 9:40. And then you put in the other times too. So if it's the same time or different times, you can just throw those in there, hit done, and there you have that. So you add in as many classes or not classes as you want to right here on the screen. And then next, get past this. Okay, and then here's where you can adjust your schedule. So let's say that you have your classes, but maybe you don't have a class every day. You can just turn them on and off and it will appear in your schedule like that. You can also drag things around. Maybe on Tuesdays, your team meeting is before that class. That's where you can organize things like that. You can also add some notes if you would like to here. And then next, get past this. Okay, and then this is where you choose the templates for your class. So we have all of these pre-made templates. There's lots of them for you to choose from. And so for now, I'm just going to choose this minimal. And then here's where you see that template. Now you will notice that for the part that I added to my day that I didn't write lesson plans for, the team meeting, it doesn't give me the option to add a template there. And that's because I'm not writing a lesson for that. So when I actually see that in my schedule, I can add notes, but I can't add a template. So anything that you're writing lessons for, or you want a template to be attached to, you want to make sure that you put that in as something you write lessons for. So here's where I can change my template. Now your template is anything that you want to show up the same every day. You want to put everything in there that you want to automatically be there. This is really going to cut down on copying and pasting. You can create your own. So you can create the template exactly how you want it. If none of the pre-made templates fit what you need, just create your own. Also, if you choose a pre-made template, you can completely edit it and customize it to whatever you want. So this minimal template that I chose, I'm going to go ahead and edit it. And then I can add a card in here. Let's say that I want a card for homework. Can throw that in there. I can add in as many cards as I want. Let's say maybe this agenda and notes, I decide I don't want it in my template. I can just go ahead and delete it and that will get rid of it. Also, the other thing in your template is you not only can add the cards in there, but any sort of text that you type into your template is going to automatically show up, and you can see that here. So any text you add will show up automatically in your template. So maybe there's some procedures that you do the same every single morning or for every class period, you can put those procedures in your template. That way you don't have to type it out. Or maybe the base of it's the same, so you can type all that in there and then you can just edit it as needed. One thing that I think could come in handy for teachers with this is adding like an accommodations or modifications card. And you can actually type in there like all the different accommodations you might be giving to students, and it will automatically show up in your template. And then you can just take out the ones you don't use. Or if you want to note to yourself which student received those accommodations, you could put like their first initial or whatever right next to that accommodation. So you'll have all of that information right there. Another thing you can do in your template is add in links and attachments and files. So I could attach a file from all of these options. So let's say that maybe you're using a Google slideshow and maybe you refer to it every day at the beginning of class. You can just put that file right into your template and it will automatically show up every day. So you'll never have to go in and just keep copying and pasting links to things that you want to automatically be there. Or if there's links to, maybe you have Google files of like student accommodations, or maybe it's PDFs that were sent to you. You can link those right into your template, and then they'll automatically show up every day. And then you can click into it right from your planner and see it, and then just close out of it and go back to your plans. Another cool thing here is the add from others option, and you can link these other things. So you could take a photo, record a video, record audio. The audio one and the video one option might come in really handy if you have a sub and you want to give instructions to your students. You can just record a video or audio right here, put it into the lesson, and then when you share your lesson with your sub, they can play it for your students and they'll have instructions right from you. Also, there's Unsplash where you can put in anything. So I don't know, maybe I want a picture of a cute dog. So I can throw one of those into my template, and then, you can pull that up. And then all the things that I'm showing you right now for attach file, you don't have to do this in your template. Like if there's a picture that you just want to have on one particular day, you just do that in that particular lesson. But anything I'm doing here is going to automatically show up. Okay, I'm going to hit done. Go to next. Okay. One quick thing to show you is I'm just going to go over the nav bar really quickly. So if you want to go back and edit all of those things that I just did, pretty much nothing is permanent. There's a few things you can't change, but a lot of the things you can. So like if I go to settings, I can edit my classes and schedule. I can edit the order. I can edit the templates. I can edit the title and background of my plan book. So these are all in events. You can add in events too. So these are all of the setup options for your plan book. All of that you can go in and edit. So the things that you can't edit are like this plan book. I set it up as a Monday through Friday weekly schedule. But let's say that you have a rotating schedule, like an A-B schedule. You can't edit the A-B schedule as a whole for the plan book, which I did have a question about that. So I'm going to go back and just show you really quick how to do an A-B schedule plan book. So I'm going to go back out of this. I'm just going to go back to my home. I'm going to create another plan book. And this time I'm going to use the A-B schedule. And this is where you put in all your rotations. I'm just going to keep it as an A-B, but you can put in as many as you would like to. And then create the plan book. And then I'm just going to add in some classes here just so I can show you. Edit the color of this one, make it purple. Okay. Next, adjust schedule. Okay, so you can see here, these are my classes. This is every A day. This is every B day. You can turn classes on and off. So maybe on your A days, you only have that purple class. And then on B days, you only have that pink class. So you can turn those on and off. I'm going to turn those back on. Go to next. get past this real quick. I'm just going to choose a template. Next, next. Got it. I'm ready to start planning. Okay. So for an AB schedule or rotating schedule, if you want to turn days on or off or skip days, what you want to do is click on the day menu right here. So the day menu, so let's say that you had no school on this A day. So we could add in a no school day. So maybe it was a snow day, can create it. Okay, so now my classes are off, but the rotation is still as an A day. So if you need the A day to now be on Wednesday, you can go back to that day menu and you can skip a rotation day. So now your Wednesday is your A day. You can also, I'm going to hit undo. If you accidentally do anything, make a mistake, just hit that undo button. It works as long as you don't close out of your browser or refresh. I'm going to undo that. Other options, if you want to change the rotation day, so you can do that too. So you can change it to a B day and change that day. Okay, so that is how you change the days. Like if you have a no school day and you need to make the rotation start the next day. So that's how you do that. Okay, I'm just gonna undo that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my other plan book. Okay, here's one I've had. So, okay, I'm just gonna check my notes, make sure I'm covering everything that people wanted to know and I'm not tangenting on things that people don't want to know. Okay. Okay, back to the navigation. So in your settings, like I said, this is where you can edit things about your plan book. This is also where you can print things if you want to. You can share. So we've recently added this email link option. So this is where you can email someone your plans directly from CC. So prior to this, we had this copy link option where you could copy the link and then you would have to go email it yourself if you wanted to email it. Now you can just do it right from CC. And what happens here is, so I'm in the week view of this plan book. So it's going to email this week to that person and it's only going to be viewable. So if you send this to someone, they're not going to be able to make comments. They're not going to be able to edit your plans. They're not going to be able to see other things in your plan book. They will just be able to see this week. So this is really good if you're required to submit your lesson plans week by week and send it to your admin. Just feel safe knowing that they're not going to be able to see everything else in your plan book and edit things in your plan book. They'll just be able to see your lessons for that week. You could also do that in the day view too, if you only want to send one day to someone. I've already had some feedback on this that teachers are going to use this for subs. So you could have this day, you go to the share, you're only sharing this day, you email it to that sub, and then they're only getting access to this lesson, and that's it. They can't edit it, they can't view anything else in your plan book. If you don't want to use the email link, like if you need to copy a link somewhere, maybe you need to post it into an LMS or a Google Doc that your admin checks, then you could copy the link and the same thing applies. So they're not going to be able to go in and edit things in your plan book or see other things. If you want to share your entire plan book, so maybe at the beginning of the year, you want to send your admin the link to your entire plan book. That way they always have it and you don't have to send or submit your lesson plans week by week. You hit the share, it's under share plan book with school or colleagues. You can turn on link sharing and we have that copy link option or email link. And then they'll have that public link. Again, they're going to be able to view it, but they can't comment or edit. If you want someone to actually edit your plan book with you or be able to comment in your plan book, then you can add a collaborator. So you click that, you enter in their email address, and you give them the permissions you want them to have. So it can be view only, it can be only comment, or you can give them full on permission to edit or edit and manage. So this might be someone that's a co-teacher, and if you want them to edit it and you actually want them to plan your lessons with you, it's a really good way to split up the work, especially if you're on a team like a grade level team. Then you can split up who plans what lessons all in the same plan book if you would like to. Okay, other options up here in your nav bar under the share again is with students and families. This is where you can actually set up class websites. I don't think I had any questions about that, so I'm not going to go into details about how to set those up, but you can set up class websites super easy. You do it right here from CC. You send a link to students and families. They don't need a login, they don't need a password, and it only shows what you choose. So it will only show them the parts of your lessons you want them to see. So if you have accommodations or modifications in your lessons, or you have notes for yourself, you just wouldn't have that show on the class website, but you could show like your agenda for the day or their homework, or all those things. You could have that. And any links you put into or attachments you put into your lessons, they can access those too. So if a student is absent, they'll have access to the materials that you used for that day. Okay. Other things, the undo button, again, like I mentioned, you want to use that if you make a mistake. You can search for lessons. The help button over here is where the help center is. So we have lots of videos and articles on how to do things within your plan book. We have a lot of tutorial videos, suggestions. We want to know what you would like to see and what changes we could do to make CC even better. I'm going to show you on the help center really quick that you can contact us. And this is where you can type in a question and then we'll get back to you. Usually it's always within 24 hours. We'll get back to you. Okay, so back over here to my view. So we already looked at the day, we looked at the week view. There's also a month view. So you can go to the different months. You can click into your lessons and plan this way if you want to. The unit timeline is where you can set up and add units to your lessons. The outline, you'll be able to see all of your lesson topics here, and you can click it and then plan your lesson. Click it, plan your lesson, and you can do this for the different subjects or classes that you have in your plan book. The standards tracker comes in really handy if you want to keep track of what standards you have used in your lessons. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my week view. Okay, I'm gonna double check just to make sure I'm covering people's questions. Okay, so I had a couple questions exactly about how to actually create a lesson within CC. So one thing to note is that, like I said earlier, you can completely customize this template to exactly what you want. So that's the first thing you want to make sure you have done before you start creating lessons. Like, make it easy for yourself. Make sure you have your template set up and it's got all the cards you want and everything in there that repeats. So you don't have to copy and paste stuff. But then once you have that set up, then you can just start going into your individual lessons and start planning. This is the standards card. This is where you can search and add standards. So if you click on this, you'll have these options. And this is where you want to find the standard set that you need. So we have states, we have organizations, we work with schools. And so sometimes we might have unique sets to schools and districts. And so we just work with them and we'll have those uploaded. I think most people are probably using their state or just depending on what subject they teach. I know there's like some national music standards and PE standards and like technology standards. So you'll find those under organizations. I'm going to go to states. I'm going to choose, I don't know, let's choose California. And then the sets you see here, these are the most updated sets that we have uploaded into CC. There's also the older standards here. If you see that, so like California, the science standards are from 2013. I've checked on this recently. Those seem to be the most updated California science set. But let's say that California updated their science standards this year in 2025. If we don't have that uploaded and you're making a lesson, you're like, we have new standards, new science standards, I need those for my lesson. Then there's this button here. It says, didn't find what you're looking for, we can add them. So you just click that. There is a form to fill out, and that just lets us know which standards need updated, and then we'll get those updated. Also, if you have standards that are unique to you, so maybe unique to your school, there's a link in there to commonstandardsproject.com, and you can actually go to that website, upload your standards that you need, and then we'll review and approve them, and they will pop up for you in CC. So if you have unique standards to your school, you can upload them and use them. Okay, so back to this. So let's say that I'm teaching history and social science. That's what I taught when I was teaching. So choose that. We'll choose grade 9. So these are the standards. How you put them into your lesson is you just click the little plus over on the left. When you close and return to lesson, they'll automatically be in that lesson. You can also use the search bar. So if there's a certain topic that you're teaching about in that class and you want to find the standards that go with that topic or that lesson, then you can throw that on here. So maybe I'm putting in cause and effect. So anything that has those keywords is going to pop up. So here's a standard about cause and effect. So I can click that. When I close and return to lesson, it will show up. We also have a way to view multiple sets. So you can click the side-by-side view. And so let's say that, you're teaching a social science class, but you have like English language learners in that class. Maybe you want to pull up those standards. Or maybe you want to look at grade 8. This is a really good way to compare to see what they did the year prior. So you can just pull up another set here. So if I go back to California, and I can pull up the English language development standards. We'll go to grade 9. So then you can put different standards from different sets into your lesson. And you can do this for as many as you want. So you can open up even more. And then once you close and return to lesson, your standards are right there. If you click it, it expands it. You can star them if you want one to stick out for any reason. You can copy this whole card if you want to, if you're going to be working on these same standards in another lesson. You can paste them. If you master a couple of these and you only want 1 or 2 to move on to the next lesson, you can do them individually. So I'm going to copy this one and then I can paste it. Okay, so that's how I use the standards card. Let me know if you have more questions about that. Pop that into the chat. And then let me keep going here, keeping an eye on our time. Okay. All right, someone had a question about adding multiple templates to a subject. So I want to hit on that. All right, so in your settings, you have this templates option here. These are my 2 classes in this plan book. I can choose a template. I'm just going to choose one from the gallery. So let's say I choose the minimal one. So that's my template for my math class. So you'll see here, you can't choose more than one for the class. But you can always go in here to change it. So if you're using a template and then you decide that you want to use something else, you want to use a different template, it's not going to go back and mess with the lessons you already have created. It will change any of the unedited lessons. So things moving on in the future, it's going to update that template for you. Also, what you can do. So let's say, so this is my math template, but maybe on this day, on this Thursday, February 27th, I don't want this math template. I want something different. I can click in the lesson menu, and here's where I can replace from template library. So if I want a different template for this day, I can go choose one and it will update that day to that template and it won't mess with the other days. You can also, you can customize templates. So you could create one that says Math 1 and then create another one that says Math 2. And then on the days you want that Math 2 template, you just click into your lesson menu and choose that Math 2 template. So you can replace it from your library and it will show up there. You can also edit this class right here. Go to templates, and this is where you can edit your templates for different days. So let's say that you have a certain template you want on Mondays. You have a certain template you want on Tuesdays, a certain template you want on Wednesdays. You can do that all here. Let me get out of this AB plan book. And I'm going to go to this one. Okay, so let me show you a little bit better here. So click on my pink class. I'm going to go to edit the class settings and the templates. And oh, I'm in my AB day again. Shoot. Okay. But that shows a little bit better. So you could change, like if you wanted every A day to change every A day to a different template, you could choose that right there. Get out to here. Okay, here's another one. So we can go to settings. Don't want to go there. Go to my period 3 here. Go here, go to my edit. Okay, so here's one you can see. This is just a regular weekly schedule. It's not an AB schedule or anything. So let's say on Mondays, you could change it to a custom template that you've made, or choose one from the gallery. So I'm just gonna choose this one here. Okay, and then on Mondays, it'll automatically have that template. So that's how you can edit it per day. Okay. To Okay, another question that someone had was how to copy a week's worth of lessons to the next week. So we don't have a copy week button, but we do have a way to import lessons. And it just takes a couple of clicks and you can copy them all from the week prior. So what you do is you click into the lesson menu here, and then there's this import lessons and units button. So you click on this, and then up here, this is where you choose which plan book you want to copy lessons from. And it can be the same plan book. So if you want to copy lessons from the previous week, you just make sure that you select the same plan book that you're in. And then you select the lessons that you want to copy. And then all you have to do is just click the little check mark. If you want to do individual lessons, if you want to copy a whole unit, you can click that, and then just deselect lessons you don't want. It's really customizable to figure out the exact lessons that you want. I'm going to uncheck the whole unit. So let's say I'm just doing a week. So I can pick the lessons I want, and then I can click this blue button down here. So I'm importing those 5 lessons, and there's all my lessons. So even though we don't have that copy a whole week button, we have a really easy way to do it. It just doesn't say copy week. This works really well to copy from previous plan books. If you want to bring in lessons from the previous year, or a different plan book, this is a really easy way to just bring all those in. You can select however many lessons you want. So if you want to copy 100 lessons all at the same time and import them into your plan book, you can. Okay. Okay, someone asked if there is a way to create a drop-down menu of activities. So currently we don't have a way to do that, but the way that I would suggest is kind of a workaround is you can add a card. So let's say we add a text card and I want this to be activities. You could do this actually, you could do this in your template. So if I go to my settings, I'm gonna go back to my settings, go to my templates, because I want to save time. I want to put things in here that I want to show up every day. So if I go, let's just go to my period one. I can add in a card that's for activities. And then I can list out all the activities that I might have that class do. So I'll just list all of those out. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Those are my 4 activities. And so I'm putting this in my template so then I can click done. And then what I want to do is go to show you. I'm going to go to a lesson that hasn't been edited yet because like I said earlier, when you update the template, it only updates lessons you haven't edited because we don't want to mess up with work you've already done. Okay, so here's one I haven't edited. And as you can see, there's those 4 activities that I added. So then when I go to plan this lesson, I could use emojis, put a little check mark. These are the ones I'm using, cross out or delete the ones I'm not using. So that's kind of a workaround since we don't have like a drop-down menu. That is something that you could try. Okay, and then next question was how to set up your days off. So to add days off, you can click into the day menu to do that. So you can add a no school day or you can add a special event. So if you do add a no school day, let's say this on Monday, February 24th, I'm going to add in a no school day. And I want to bump all the lessons on this day because maybe it's a snow day. So everything I was going to teach on Monday, I'm going to teach on Tuesday now. So yes, I want to bump. I'm just going to call it snow day. And that day off shows up and then everything bumped forward. It automatically bumps forward for you. Another way to add in your days off. So like at the beginning of the year, you probably already know this is going to be winter break. Maybe you have a fall break. Maybe you have a spring break, days off for holidays. So you can go to your settings. You can add in events over here. And this is where you can add in those days. So I can add an event. You know, this is going to be a day off. Maybe add in a description. I want this to be on February 26th. There's going to be no class on those days. I can create that. And then it will add that into my schedule. So this is how you can go ahead and add in all of that time off that you have for the year without actually having to go into the individual days and add those days off. Okay, next question here. All right, someone had a question about saving and adding comments. Okay, so you have a lesson, and when you hover over all of the cards, there's this little option here that says add a comment. So you can click on that and then add in whatever comment you want to add there, and then you add it, and then it will stay there as long as you don't delete the comment. And then you can add in as many comments as you want. So if you want to add in another comment, you just add in another comment and then have it there. And then again, it's not going to go away until you delete it. And also it's not going to mess with anything else in your plans. Same thing goes if you added a collaborator with view only or commenting rights. If they comment in your plan book, it's not going to mess up with any of your other plans. They can only comment. All right, someone had a great question about retrieving lessons from the last school year. So I already mentioned how you can import lessons, but the other really cool thing that you can do is when you get to the end of the year and you have your whole plan book created, you can copy that plan book for the next year and you just set up the dates you want. So it will do all that for you. So we're going to copy a plan book. I'm going to choose this one here. You can choose to keep all the classes in that plan book, or you can take some out. Maybe the next year you're not teaching the same classes, so you don't have to copy all of them if you don't want to. And then I'm going to hit next. Title of my new plan book, so you add in whatever title you want. I'm going to hit next. You can copy the lessons in units or you can leave blank lessons. I'm going to copy the lessons in units. So I'm just going to check everything over, make sure this is everything I want. And I'm going to create my plan book. And now what you want to do is just make sure your schedule is right because it might be changing. Not everything might stay the same from year to year. We know that. So you can change it if you want to. All right, so here's your schedule. So you can turn classes on and off if you want to, or move things up and down. And then this is where you choose how it's going to show on your calendar. So for this last plan book, this is when they started, or you can set a different date because a lot of times your school year might be starting on a different date than it did the prior year. So you just choose when you want your lessons to start, next, and then hit that button. And then your plan book will have all of your lessons copied and it will start on the date of your new school year. Okay, and then just to go back and show you how you can look at all of those prior plan books is even if you've been using us for 10 years, all your plan books will still be there. We don't ever like delete anything or get rid of any plan books. So I could go back to 22, 23. All I need to do is click on this and it will show my plan books from that year. All right, see what's next on my questions. Check the time. Okay, so I had some questions about some features. One of them, which I know one of you is here, was about the AI integration. So you asked if we had any plans for adding AI to Common Curriculum. So the answer is we definitely want to add AI to Common Curriculum. We think it will definitely make teachers' lives easier and help you plan your lesson. So this is definitely something we would love to do. We've been talking about it a lot. And we're looking for ideas from you. So if you guys have any ideas for how best to incorporate AI into your plan book, please let us know. We want to know the answer to that, like what's going to help you. We don't necessarily want it to be just an answer of, you just want to click a button and it just makes a lesson for me. Like we want to make sure this is actually helpful for you and your students. I've been messing around some with some AI lesson planners and the lessons aren't always great. So we want to make sure that this is actually going to help you and your students. So what would you want that AI to look like within your plan book? What would you want it to help you do? So please let us know because we definitely want to do that. We want to know that information. Um, okay, someone asked about adding dates to units without dragging. I am noting that as a suggestion. I know it's been suggested before. That is something that people said would come in handy. So I'll bring that up again. Um, okay. I think I covered most questions that were asked. Let me look in the chat and see questions we have going on here. Okay. Okay, so how to get optimal use of the unit planner. Are there ways to create a scope and sequence or year at a glance with CC? So let me go over the unit planner. I go into this one. Okay, so the unit timeline is up here in your nav bar. And how the unit planner is handy is that you can add in all of your units for the year. So how you do that, so here's my period one, I can click add unit, and anywhere you see the pluses is where you can start adding a unit. Here I already have a Civil War unit. I can add in a subunit if I want to. Or if I want to start adding in my next unit, I could do that here. So this will be my unit 5. I can pick a color. Let's go with red. I can show the unit in the sidebar. So this is the unit plan. This isn't a lesson plan. And this is where you can plan out your whole unit. So all the standards you're going to be teaching in that unit, the materials you're going to need, your objectives. Um, you can put in links to any YouTube videos you're going to show during the unit, any links to materials you're using or assignments you're going to be working with. You can set this up exactly how you want. So you just add in the cards that you want to add for that unit plan. Now, how this really comes in handy is that you can use it when you are planning your lessons. So these little blue dots, those are lessons that you have planned. So you could open up a unit here, and so you have your unit plan here, and then you have your lesson plan here. So if you have your unit plan planned out, then you can use it to plan your individual lessons. So if you have standards here, you just copy and paste them over. If you have links or materials or activities that you have all here in your unit plan, you can just copy and paste them right over into the lessons for that unit. So you could plan a whole unit right here in the unit planner, the whole unit plan plus lesson by lesson. You can do that all right here. How you make a unit bigger is you can stretch it out for the number of days you want the unit to last. It tells you how many days it is. And then when you see those individual lessons, it will actually tell you where you are at in that unit. So this is January 21st, and it's day 8 of my 15-day unit. And it notes this in your week view, your day view. It tells you what unit you're in and what day of that unit